So after ironing up the structure of the various essays, learners, yes, they are able to write the essay in the structure that is required. And sometimes you are also doing good in terms of grammar, which is good because we also mark you for structure and accuracy, which deals with your grammar and also the form of your essay. But another important part of the discursive essay or the other essays that carries also higher marks than the it carries higher marks than the style and accuracy is the content, task response. How do you respond to the task? And yes, I see good essays in terms of forms. I see good essays in terms of grammatical structures. The challenge now is the content of the essay. Do you answer the question? And that is where most of you have your challenges. Most of you are doing well in terms of structure, in terms of grammar, but answering the question itself, that is where most of you are having challenges. I will not say it is quite easy, but you can achieve it. All you have to do is make sure you analyze the question very well and try to understand the question. In essay writing, it is easy because you have time for that. If it was speaking, I would understand. You know, there are some people you ask them question as you are conversing with them, and the answer they are giving suggests to you that they did not understand the question. They did not understand the question because they are off topic. And this is what happens in essay writing. Um, you read a learner's essay and then you realize that the learner is off topic. The learner is not addressing the issue. The learner is talking about something else. Yes, sometimes the argumentation is good. The topic, whatever the learner is saying is interesting, but it is irrelevant to the topic. And when you check my comments, the comment I make usually on your essay, you will see that I put statement like, how does it relate to the topic? Or what are you trying to say? That is when I don't understand. There is no clarity in your argumentation. But when I say, how does it relate to the topic? Or does it speak to your thesis statement? Anytime I make statement like that, it means you are going off topic. Some people are quite good. Some of you are quite good. The little challenge you have is you don't address the specific issue. So you are a bit general and you don't address the specific issue. So I am making again this revision video just to remind you. If you would remember, we had a lesson for those who attend my class. We had a lesson that I called Analyzing the Discursive Essay Question, or Analyzing the Discursive Essay Prompt. And I told you that there are 4 items you need to be looking out for in the question, in the discursive essay question. The first one is the theme. Usually it will be given to you in advanced question prompt. On top, before the question prompt, you would always have the theme on top for advanced people. So the first one is a theme. After the theme, the next thing you are looking for is a topic. The theme is usually general, and most of the time you might not need the theme in your essay writing. It is just to tell you that if, for instance, the theme is art, it is just to tell you that use your background knowledge about art to answer this question. So after the theme, we go to the topic. The topic now is kind of giving you an area of the theme that you need to focus on. An area of the theme that you need to focus on. The next thing will be the background. The background may not usually be given to you directly in the question, but it should not be a big deal because you can create a background yourself if you are able to determine the topic of the prompt. Then after the background, the next thing you are looking out for is the issue. The issue. So Usually some of the books will tell you that the topic and the issue are the same. And if you are watching a panel discussion on TV, or you are participating, you are attending a panel discussion, the topic will be used interchangeably as an issue. So they seem to be the same. But in my class, I always tell my learners to see them as different. Topic and issue should be different. So because I always want you people to write the issue in a question form, the type of question that you can answer yes or no to. That is what I always tell my learners. Always write the issue in a question form and put it in a type of question that you can answer yes or no to. So because of us, we see the topic and the issue as two different things. Now, of all the four, the most important one are the topic and the issue. The topic and the issue. Again, what I mean by issue is the question that you ask out of the question prompt, which you can answer yes or no to. Yes, I know in the essay, we are not expecting you to say yes or no to, or we are not expecting you to answer yes or no. All we want is whether you agree or disagree, or you discuss both sides of the issue. And at the end, in your conclusion, you now present your position depending on which type of essay you want to write, whether it is depending on which type of essay you write, whether you want to write a for or against essay, or you want to write an argumentative essay. Now, I have put some sample questions here which we are going to discuss. I will take them one by one. Most of them are questions that we had in our mock examination. And I also have added a few more to make sure that I will tackle all the themes that that you are supposed to prepare for this year, especially advanced people. Advanced, you have been given a number of themes that you need to prepare for your essay writing. And the themes are, for this year 2025, we have language and communication, we have travel and transport, social trends, citizenship, and the arts. They may be quite similar with what will be given to ordinary level, because looking at the topics that they are discussing in the speaking examination, you could tell that they are kind of similar. They are kind of similar. But specifically for advanced, you are told to prepare these topics. So I have a number of questions here. We are going to analyze them together. And then we will try to find out specifically the topic and the issue. The topic and the issue. And then where the background is given directly, I will let you know. But background is what you can create. Then at the end, I am also going to present to you some introductions, and we are going to identify the topic and the issue from the introduction. Why am I doing that? Because when you analyze the question prompt very well, and you find the topic, the background, and the issue, these three are going to be used to write your introduction, the first part of your introduction. And then you can now answer the question, which will now be your thesis statement. So what I do in class is, after I teach learners to analyze the question, and I teach them to write their introduction with a thesis statement, I also bring some introductions and I ask them to identify the topic, the issue, and the thesis statement. If you are able to do that, it will be easier for you to read an argumentative piece of text and know what the text is about and know what the writer is trying to detail or trying to support in his main body paragraph. So we are trying to use one stone to kill two birds here. Anytime I do this activity, we are trying to use one stone to kill two birds. What we are trying to do is being able to write a good argumentative essay, and on the flip side, being able to read an argumentative passage and understand it better. So let's go through the questions I have here. Some of them will be familiar to you for those in my class because they are the mock examination questions, and I added just a few. For those who are not in my class, hopefully you will learn something, you will get some few tips from this video. So let's take the first one. The first one, the theme is language and communication. And it says, speaking one's vernacular language in public makes people to label you as uncivilized. How far do you agree with this statement? Now, look at the last part of the prompt. How far do you agree with this statement? That is not the issue. Forget about that. It is not the issue at all. This question is just telling you that this prompt is discursive essay. That is all. Discursive or argumentative, whatever you want. Now, it is not the issue in the question. So don't think about that last part as the issue. And remember, I always say that I want you to put the issue in a type of question form that you will be able, in a yes or no question form. And this is not a yes or no question form. How far do you agree with this statement? Is not a yes or no question form. So that part is not the issue at all. Now, we have the theme here. The theme is language and communication. Now, what is the topic? What is in this question that comes under language and communication, which you have to find? I tested my learners with that and I asked them, what is the topic in this question? And they said, speaking one vernacular language. Yes, it is good. Speaking one vernacular language is good. But this whole question, if you use only speaking one vernacular language, it will limit the topic. It will limit the topic. If I was to ask you a question, if it was a comprehension question, and I say, what is the topic? What is the topic of this, or what is the title of this prompt? And you tell me speaking one vernacular language, I may mark you correct. I may. But that will depend on what you tell me in the issue. That will depend on what you tell me in the issue. So let's think again. What is the issue? What is the issue? What is the question that you can answer yes or no to? If you look at it well, is speaking one vernacular language in public makes people label you as uncivilized. Now, does the speaking of one vernacular language in public makes them uncivilized? Or should people be considered uncivilized if they spoke their vernacular language in public? Should people be considered uncivilized if they spoke their vernacular language in public? That question, you can answer yes or no to it. You can say yes, they should be considered uncivilized if they speak their vernacular language in public. Or no, they should not be considered uncivilized if they speak their vernacular language in public. And for me, that is the issue. That is the issue. Should people be considered uncivilized when they speak their vernacular language in public? Now, after asking that question, let's go back to the topic. What do you think is the topic? The topic here probably will be, or what is much detailed here will be, the relationship between speaking one's vernacular language in public and being uncivilized. So the question now is, does speaking one vernacular language make them uncivilized? Or taking it on the opposite side, if someone speaks English language, let's say the international language or the formal language, does it make them civilized? So I am flipping the question. I'm using the opposite version of the question. Does speaking the formal language make one civilized? Or does speaking one's vernacular language in public make them uncivilized? So you see that the issue here has helped me hit the right notes, as I used to say. I used to use that a metaphor, the music metaphor, when I am with my learners. If they give me the topic and I feel the topic is still broad, I tell them, yes, you are getting closer, but you have not hit the right note. You have not hit the right note because your topic is not detailed enough. And if you don't detail your topic enough or you don't make it clear enough, you may end up missing the point or going off topic when you are writing your essay. So here the topic is the relationship between speaking one's vernacular language in public and being civilized. And then the issue becomes, does the speaking of one's vernacular language in public make them civilized or uncivilized? Then your thesis statement or your opinion could be, I think it makes people uncivilized, or I think it doesn't make people uncivilized. Then you can now use the terms of the question to now try to frame it. I think people should not be labeled as uncivilized when they speak their vernacular language in public. Or, yes, I agree that people should be labeled uncivilized when they speak their vernacular language in public. Well, let's continue. I believe after we do 2 or 3 more, you will understand what I am trying to teach you here. So the second one is social trends. And they were both of them, the first one and the second one, were part of the mock examination. This one says, wearing a pre-owned outfit these days is something to brag about, not whisper. The stigma is by and large gone, but some worry it will become next fashion trend. What are your views? Now, the topic seems to be clear here. The theme is social trend. We don't have any issue with that. The topic seems to be clear here. The topic is the wearing of pre-owned outfits. The wearing of pre-owned outfits. In my place, we would say second-hand clothes. The wearing of second-hand clothes. So the wearing of pre-owned outfits. Now, the issue here is, this question was a bit tricky because there are other background, there are some terms in the question that were just distractive. They were not the key issue here. They were just distracted. The part that says the stigma is by and large gone. Nobody laughs at you anymore when you do that. They were distractive. But the real issue in this question was, should we worry? Should we worry that the wearing of pre-owned outfit is becoming a trend or not? Should we worry that the wearing of pre-owned outfit is becoming a trend or not? And well, anytime I look at this question, I feel a bit sad because many of my learners attempted it and it was only one learner among them that got the issue right. Should we worry that the wearing of pre-owned outfit becomes a trend? Yes, we should worry. No, we should not worry. Yes, we should worry. No, we should not worry. Many people focused on, is it good to wear pre-owned outfit, or the advantages of wearing pre-owned outfit and the disadvantage of wearing pre-owned outfit, which was not far from the issue, but it was not the main issue. It was not a specific issue. The specific issue was, should we worry that it is becoming a trend? Should we worry? So in other words, if you say yes, we should worry, it means when many people get to wear pre-owned outfit, what will be the impact on our society? Right? And if you say, no, we should not worry. No, we should not worry. How is that not going to affect our society? How is that not going to affect our society? You need to be able to explain or give much detail on that. And many learners did not get that part. Yes, they did not fail because the structure of the essay was good. Their grammar, some of them, their accuracy was quite on point. And the question definitely will also cover a bit of the advantages and disadvantages of wearing pre-owned outfit. But answering it was to tell us whether it is a trend that we need to worry about or a trend that we shouldn't worry about. And that part was missed. Then the background will be nowadays it is normal for many people to wear pre-owned outfit. Nobody laughs at anyone. That is the background. That is the part that I was saying, the distractive part of the question. It is no more a problem for people to wear pre-owned outfit. So many people can wear it anytime they want. And we even notice that many people are wearing it. But should we worry that many people are wearing pre-owned outfit, or shouldn't we worry? That was the issue. That was the question. Let's move on. The next question is saying that government investment in the arts, such as music and theater, is a waste of money. Government must invest this money in public services instead. To what extent do you agree or disagree to this statement? Again, I told you, if you see to what extent do you agree or disagree to this statement, that is not the issue. That is just telling you that this question is a discursive essay. Now, the topic here is government investment in the art versus government investment in public services, or government investment in the art over government investment in public services. The issue is, should the government, no, the issue here is it a waste of money for the government to invest in the art when public services need money? Other public services need money. I think that part you will hit on the note. Is it a good thing for the government to be investing in the art when other public services need money? In this way, we are not saying the government is not investing in other public services. What the question is saying here is that even though the government is investing in other public services, those services need more money, need much more money, while the government is still investing in the art. So probably the background here is that many people think government should not spend any money at all in the arts, as long as there are other public services that need money. What is your opinion on that? Should the government stop investing in the arts and send the money or divert the money to other essential public services? So your answer to that will be yes, the government should stop investing in the art and spend the money into other essential public services, or no, the government should still continue investing in the art and also do their best for other public services. So they shouldn't stop. They shouldn't stop investing in the art because other public services need much more money. So you see how I put my issues in such a way that first I can answer the question with a yes or no answer. And then after that, I can now go back to use the terms of the question prompt. I have tried it with students, and I believe that when they get to that level where they can turn the issue here in a yes or no question, it helps them at the end of their essay to be able to tell whether they have answered the question in the prompt or not. So always try to turn your issue into a yes or no question after you have identified the topic. And the background, you can easily get it. So let's move on. Now, this question says, car ownership has increased so rapidly over the past 30 years that many cities in the world are now one big traffic jam. What measures can the government take to discourage people from using their cars? From that question, you can tell that the topic is the increased ownership of car. The increased ownership of cars. So many people are now getting cars. The increased ownership of car and the increased traffic jam in cities. So you can put the two of them together. Increase ownership of car and traffic jam in cities. Increase ownership of car and traffic jam in city. And then the issue here is, well, that defeat a bit my point of saying that let's try to change the issue in a yes or no question. But here what the question is requiring you to do is to tell us, to give us some solutions, to solve this issue. So many people are having cars, and that is causing too much traffic jam in the city. So what could be some of the solutions the government will take, or what solutions can the government take to solve this issue? So the issue here is there are too many cars in the city, and that is causing the traffic jam. Now, for this question, now you would see that the issue and the topic are the same. That is why many people would say that usually they use the two words interchangeably. Topic and issue, they are the same in this question. The issue is, the problem is there are too many there are too many cars. Many people own car in our cities, and that is causing a lot of traffic jam. And the topic is car ownership and traffic jam. Increase car ownership and traffic jam in the city. Increase car ownership and traffic jam in the city. Issue, many people own car and it is causing traffic jam. Then the question is requesting you to provide some solutions to solve this problem or this issue. So in this case, the issue, you think of it as a problem. Because I am struggling to ask a yes or no question to it. If I ask a yes or no question, should the government take measure to solve it? Yes, you will say yes. What is the issue? Should the government take measures to solve the increased car ownership and increased traffic jam in the city? Yes, the government should take measures to solve it, but I don't think that is the answer we want you to give here. Yes, the government should take measures, because if you say yes, the government should take measures, we may expect you to tell us reasons why the government should take measures to solve it. But in this case, we are just asking you, what are some of the measures the government should take? And then you list some measures and you support them. It is a cause and effect and solution essay, cause, effect, or solution essay. And here they are asking you for solutions. So you mention 2 or 3 solutions if you are writing 3 paragraphs, 3 solutions, and then for each solution, you tackle it in a separate paragraph and you detail it. Okay, let's move again. This one says, many people like to wear fashionable clothes. Discuss the reasons for this trend and the impact on our society. So the topic is, it falls under social trends. That is the theme. The topic here is the wearing of fashionable clothes, or the increased wearing of fashionable clothes. More and more people are wearing fashionable clothes. So the increased wearing of fashionable clothes, or wearing of fashionable clothes. And again, you cannot ask a yes or no question here as the issue, because they are asking you for the reasons for this trend. So that becomes a bit easier. I just put it in to know, for you to have an idea, some of the questions that could be asked under the topic of social trend, under the theme of social trend. So we can move on. This one says, some people get into debt buying things they don't need and can't afford. Discuss the causes and the solution to this trend. Again, it is the same thing. People are buying things they cannot afford. I think this one falls into way of life, patterns of daily life. This might be a topic for last year, the theme for last year. So patterns of daily life. But the topic here is people borrowing money to buy things that they cannot afford, or buy things that their income cannot pay for. So you are putting yourself in a problem. You are putting yourself in trouble. You are buying things that cost more than your income, and definitely you will end up struggling paying it back. And then we are asking you here to tell us the causes. What are some of the causes, and what are some of the solutions? So the issue here is a problem. The problem is more and more people are spending money they don't have to buy things or they are buying expensive things that their income cannot afford. And then tell us the causes and some of the solutions. Let's move on. This one says, citizens can hold their leaders in position of power accountable for their decision. Discuss how you organize an online disgruntled protest against the selling of some of your country's protected animals, of some of your country's protected animals for trophy hunting. This question has two issues. I know none of you guys attempted that question. I don't know why, because when I was marking your essay, I did not see any of you attempting that question. But it was quite simple. I believe maybe some of the words in it was quite difficult for you. When we say disgruntled protest, it means protest to express your dissatisfaction or to register your dissatisfaction. A protest to show that you are not happy with what is going on. And then the other part of the question also says that, well, maybe trophy hunting, that one, it is a simple word. You know that. I mean, it is a simple expression. You know that. Now, the issue here is the topic. Let's start with the topic. The topic is citizen-led accountability. Citizens-led accountability simply is that as a normal citizen, can you hold your leaders into accountability? Can any normal citizen, ordinary citizen, do something to hold their leaders into accountability or to hold them to accountability? Yes, any normal citizen can do that, meaning you can do that. Now, the next question is, have you done it before? Yes, I have done it before. How? How did you hold your leaders into accountability? How did you require them to be accountable to what they are doing, or how did you hold them into accountability? And now you could have thought of any other idea, but this question is suggesting to you what you need to narrate to support the fact that yes, citizens can hold their government accountable, their leaders accountable, and one of the things they can do is this and that, and you have done that, and you explain how you did it and what was the result. So what they are suggesting to you is you organizing an online protest. You organizing an online protest. A protest to express your dissatisfaction. So in introduction for this, you are going to tell us that it is important for citizens to hold their government accountable. And they can do it in so many ways. One of the ways they can do it is to organize an online protest. And in this essay, I am going to discuss how I organize an online protest and how it helped solve, it helped protect some of our precious animals against trophy hunting, or how it helped protect some of our precious animal against the policy that government allowed for protesting. So this question, in your introduction, for instance, you can start by saying that, by giving a general statement that it is important, if we want to develop as a country, to hold our leaders into accountability, to hold our leaders accountable. And there are so many ways we can hold our leaders accountable. One way to do that is through online protests. And you said, in the following essay, I am going to discuss how I led an online protest to prevent or to preserve our rare species from the practice of hunting wild animal as a sport, as people do. The practice of hunting wild animal as sport is what we call trophy hunting. So you led an online protest to prevent or to stop the practice of hunting wild animal as a form of sport. And you are going to use that to demonstrate that ordinary citizens can also lead a protest online for a good cause. For a good cause. And that is what this discursive essay question was about. So the issue was, can the ordinary citizen hold their government accountable? Yes, they can. What are some of the ways they can do that? Some of the ways they can do that is through online protests. Organize an online protest. The question is forcing you to say, yes, I have organized an online protest. Can you tell us how you organize an online protest and how you use that to hold your government accountable? How you were successful in holding your government accountable through these protests that you organized? Many of you did not tackle that question, but that is what you were required to do. Okay, let's move again. This one says more people hold citizenship in 2 countries. Some believe this is a positive development. To what extent do you agree? So the topic is dual citizenship. Dual citizenship, people having 2 citizenship. And the question here is the issue here. Here you can put the issue in a yes or no question. Is it good to hold a dual citizenship? Or does it benefit us as a country if many of our citizens have dual citizenship? Does it have any positive development on us as a country if many of our citizens have dual citizenship? Yes or no? Now, you can also think of it on another way. For the individual, is it a positive development for an individual to have dual citizenship or no? So you see that I have asked the question in 2 different or 3 perspectives. First, for the society as a country, does it benefit us to have more of our people or many of our citizens to have dual citizenship? Yes or no? If yes, you explain why. So that can give you your first body paragraph. Now, as an individual, is it good for you to hold dual citizenship, to have dual citizenship? The answer again can be yes or no. If yes, you explain why. If no, you explain also why. Then, well, I was thinking, let's think about it economically. Taking it from the economic perspective, is it good for our citizens to have dual citizenship? I'm not sure how you would be able to support the economic aspect. But the question here is it good for people in our country to have dual citizenship? Or is it good for someone to have dual citizenship? You see that you can easily answer yes or no to this question and then give your reasons. Okay, this video is getting too long now.